She was doing the weed and alcohol and ecstasy.
Yeah.
But with the meth, like I told you, I was in the lounge room, the boys were sitting there, and I was really hungover, and they introduced it to me saying, this is medicine, bro, right? Have this, have a smoke of this, and your hangover will go away.
Yourself.
So my name is Abdullah Benyam. That's Abdullah Benyam, and I'm from the country called Morocco. Homelessness Crossing, and it's actually very lucky that I'm here today to tell you this story. So from the beginning, around 1985, a few Australians were doing a tourist vacation around the world, and they came to Morocco. And my uncle, the oldest out of the brothers, had a band, and they play traditional Moroccan music. My father was the drummer. Anyway, this tourist loved that music so much that he is the reason why I came to Australia, because he helped my uncle, the lead singer of the band, come to Australia, and slowly but surely he brought his brothers and his sisters, and one of his brothers is my father. And that's actually the reason why I'm here today and telling you this story. So I was 1 year old when I got here. So it was, I was born 1986. It was about 87. Yeah, 87.
Okay. And you were 1 year old when you came here? I was
1 year old, yeah.
Yeah. That's how was Australia when you how do you remember Australia?
I remember it was just sunrise, sunshine, playing on the park, because I used to live in Fitzroy apartments. And it was really good, but there is a downside to it also. Like, for example, the staircase, couldn't walk down it because there's so much needles and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of broken, alcohol stubbies or broken glass and stuff like that. As a child, I was prohibited to go take the stairs. I felt a little different than everyone else, but I didn't really know it. If anything, it felt special. Like, I had a lot of fun growing up as a kid, because I had a lot of cousins and stuff like that, and a lot of guidance as well. It was good. It was a very good. I loved it. Every minute of growing up here was beautiful, bro. Glad you asked. It's a good question. The first time I experienced racism was when I was 19 years old. I was working in a construction site, building houses with the wooden frames. And that's when I started to get affected by racism, like being withheld, certain amounts of money, having tools missing. This guy tried to stab me, and I was wearing a diesel belt. As he hit the belt, it flung up, and I grabbed his wrist and pushed back towards him, and he tripped over this little garden bed, and the knife went into the crowd, man. Yeah, growing up, and you don't know what you're doing until you get, when you're older and you realize, you look back at it, and you got to be very careful who you befriend, or anyone that enters your heart, right? Is the one that can give you the most damage. So be careful who you befriend, and be careful what and who you let into your heart.
I mean, what were you?
I'm glad you asked, because I actually got confused at one stage. In Morocco, they call me Australi, and in Australia, they call me Moroccan. So how would I classify myself? I'd say this brain is Australian, but this body is African.
Okay.
So Fitzroy, from Fitzroy to Laverton. This was in 1994. We were in Laverton for about 2 years, something like that. And then from there, we came here to Homelessness Crossing. I used to live on Ashton Crescent. I was there for like 20-something plus years. Then we sold that place, and unfortunately, my mother and father split up, and my brother and I decided to take out a home loan for this house that we are today, and we took it and got my mum settled into the house. Also found her a partner, a guy that I was working with in the butchers. He's a really, really nice Lebanese man. So she's actually very happy. And at the beginning, when I was 13, 14, my father got me into boxing. But about a year later, something like that, I started drifting towards the bad crowd, where they were smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. And I had my first girlfriend. Her name was Samantha Bagnito, this Italian girl. And that's when I went upside down. That's when I, really started to smoke, weed and drink alcohol and go out.
How old were you?
I was about around 15, 16, something like that. It unfolded because I was going to parties and nightclubs, and then going to those kind of places with the wrong type of people is the reason why I started.
Which clubs were you going to?
It used to be called Vault here in Hoppers. Yeah, that was one of my regular places. I remember I went to Metro, a few other clubs at Crown Casino.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying clubbing is bad. I'm just saying be careful who you go with.
Yeah.
Because bad bad stuff can rub off on you. You know.
What's one of the hardest drugs that you've encountered or you experimented with, and what's been the impact?
Okay, so that would have to be methamphetamine. So I got introduced to that around 17, 18. So I was becoming an adult, and that's when things started getting a little bit worse, because I wasn't making the right decisions, and I'd get into fights frequently. But if I had to say, methamphetamine is a no-go zone. It's really, really destructive.
Into it in the first place.
Friends.
I mean, what do you remember the first day? How did it happen? Because
I remember I woke up and I was hungover, and in the lounge room, a few of my friends had a pipe and they were smoking. This is the first time I ever seen it. I sat down on the couch, and that was the beginning of it.
I mean, how did it happen? I mean, obviously
Peer pressure. Definitely peer pressure.
What were the words? Do you remember exactly how the peer pressure happened?
Yeah, the words were, if I remember correctly, this is the pipe. This will help your hangover, and I hate to admit it, but it did.
Yeah.
I felt like shit, and I had a puff, and whoa, fully energized and happy. But when I was coming down, it just made it worse. So
the next day, or I mean,
because it was the first time. I was up and going for 3 days. So
Wow.
so from the beginning of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I remember Sunday night trying to crash out, and
at the start,
yeah.
And then obviously the habit got more.
It got more to about half a gram to a gram, and
What is it like being on methamphetamine?
It makes you feel very energetic and very happy, but it deprives you of eating food and sleep. And after 2 or 3 days, you start to really feel really bad. Yeah.
Like in terms of how, when you say bad, like in what sense?
And like, your brain's fried. You feel like your brain's fried. You've been up for too long. You haven't eaten. You haven't sleeping, and that's a feeling I wouldn't want to wish to my worst enemy. You know what I mean? That's the downfall of methamphetamine.
I mean, was it known that it was a bad drug at the time?
No, it was known as like medicine. That's how it was introduced to me. Like, this is medicine. This can help you. Yeah. But I was wrong.
So how are you doing in life right now? I mean, do you have kids? Do you have a full-time job? I mean, how's life has been?
I'm casual worker. Getting as much work as I can. I do have a son. He lives with his mother. He's about 18 now. Yeah, 17, 18. And like, if I didn't get introduced to stuff at that time, I'd probably be in a better state right now. With all due respect and truth.
Completely.
I'm glad and very proud to tell you that I haven't had a drop of alcohol for at least 13 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did that come into mind, and what inspired you to do that?
I have bad effect on alcohol. I've become very aggro and violent, breaking things. I had to go to court a few times because of it, and that was the reason why I gave it the boot and just threw away that habit. Every now and then I smoke a fat one, but that's about it. It took me a while to get to this state, and slowly but surely, keep climbing. It's really slow to climb, but very fast to fall. So
that's incredible. And in terms of meth, how are you dealing with that?
That meth, I haven't touched that for at least 6 months, 7 months like that. No. So, because the people that you let into your life are the people that can affect you the most. So be very wise. But like I told you, bro, the willpower, it's you that needs to help yourself. Like, no one can help someone that can't help themselves. So that's the number one thing. We all have to help ourselves first in order to gain the other help. That's what I, yeah.
How are some of your friends dealing with it? I mean, you obviously got a crew of friends out there who are still going through it.
Yeah.
How is that like? What's the biggest hurdle?
Their biggest hurdle is to beat that person that they see in the revision mirror, because you are your own worst enemy. You know what I mean? So if they can conquer themselves, then hopefully they can conquer their bad habits. It's up to them. If they really want to help themselves, they're going to keep their mind preoccupied. Go to a gym, join a soccer team or something, you know, indoor games and stuff like that. Keep active, keep your mind preoccupied on stuff.
Yeah, preoccupied, yeah.
Preoccupied, yeah. That's my job. Help pay off this house. Hopefully settle down with a wife someday, and that's my plans, man. That's my goal.